Good morning and welcome to our midweek message for today. My name's Sue. I am the Vicar of All Saints. I have the privilege of leading here, and I'd like to welcome you to my midweek message, which is more of a midweek mumble and a recollection and a sharing, as this is my last midweek message, as on Sunday I say farewell to the parish and they prepare to look for their new vicar. So forgive the reminiscing and the slight rambling today. This has been a really special place for me. This is my doorway and I'm standing here, and this has been a place where I've had so many really significant conversations with you. Have you ever heard about the doorstep conversation or the door handle conversation, where people have spent time with you and had a chat, and then just as they're leaving they put their hand on the doorknob as though it's some kind of safety protection and say, oh, and sometimes that's where I get the nuggets of the final bit of the conversation, what it was you really wanted to have a chat about. And yet that means that so often you're on your way out, and so standing here leaning against this doorpost is where I've had some really significant conversations with people. It's also where Jojo and I help welcome many dog walkers coming past as he's been to the gate to sniff them out. And also this has been the doorway into my home. The danger of doorstop filming is people popping by, but this has been the doorway to my home. It's not quite looking as tidy as normal as I get ready to move, but this has been such a special place, being able to welcome you all into my home, whether you came for a cream tea, an afternoon tea, canapes and kava, a glass of gin, a cup of tea, a seeker course, a conversation. What a privilege it is to have a home that we can open up to one another. And so my lesson to you all, my encouragement for you all, is keep doing that. This is a privilege to be able to have homes that we can invite people into. It's what the early church did. They did church in their homes. They invited one another in. And so as soon as you can, please get that hospitality going again. I love how many of you have been so willing to open up your homes to one another. It's one of the most important, crucial things we can do to build friendships. Spending time with one another is vital to the growth and the well-being of our church. And so what a privilege it has been for me to have a home this big, this beautiful, that I've been able to share it with you. I would normally have been getting ready to welcome the PCC for a Christmas party, a meal, and some of the other sort of ministry leaders in the church. I this week wanted to cook for the church wardens. I can't, although I am doing a little something for them on Friday, all COVID and Zoom safe. But hospitality is a gift we can offer one another. And so please keep doing that. Please keep looking after one another, feeding one another, and opening your homes to one another. It's one of the most important things we can do. And I have really valued how many of you have been willing to get involved and invite people over. This space is another really special space for all sorts of reasons. It's the doorway to our church. One of the things I've always loved is when we've been able to get our welcome team outside of our building to physically be able to say to those coming by, come inside, would you like to come in? And just saying welcome to those who do come and gather with us is the doorway to this space. You know, look at it, it's closed, it looks dark, it looks kind of secretive. You can't see inside the church really from outside. And so it's so important to me that we get these doors open, that people keep knowing that they can come in. One of the really special ways we've been doing that is with this bench. Can you see this bench here? And these gardens. Dangers of outside broadcasting. And these gardens, and providing a space where people can come closer to the physical building and encounter people from our church. Just over my shoulder, can you see it? This other bench sort of here. That's been another really special place. So many people sit there, they gather there, they meet friends there, they bring their family there, or they just sit there in quiet contemplation. And there's not lots of cars going past. And so many times I found myself standing over that fence from my driveway, talking to people and having the most amazing conversations. So I love the fact that you are looking after these gardens and you are making them a warm and, well, warm in atmosphere place, welcoming place for people to come and to gather. Keep doing it. This is a special place. The Weber Hall soon became one of my special places really early on. One of the first things I got involved with was relaying the floor in here. Not the carpet time, but the time we took up all the wood, cleared out all the rot, we laid the new floor. Nick Hedges had to teach me how to use a chop saw. And really early on, I realised what a special community this was, as people came and they gathered and they helped, and we got dirty, and it was a pretty disgusting job. And then we saw the transformation, and then the place was painted and it became a much more welcoming space. In time, we installed the toilet, and wasn't that a saga? But we got through it. And then this became the most special place when Honeycomb Cafe opened. And there are many other things that I have loved coming to in this space. This is the space where PCC have dreamt and dared and taken decisions that have enabled our church to move forwards, to take risks and to grow. It's the place where people have gathered on Wednesday afternoons to make things, to give company to one another. It's the place our young people gather on a Sunday morning to learn, to be discipled. So many things have happened here. I've run faith courses here, the marriage courses run here. This small space, much like our church, achieves so much more than you might think it possible. But my favourite thing really has been the Honeycomb Cafe. Not just because of the cakes and all the extra calories we managed to consume, but because it became a real place of community, a place where church and community came together, where people could come and could feel safe. They could sit with people they didn't know and have conversation. It was a place where I was able to serve. One of my greatest joys on a Tuesday morning was seeing you all come in and taking your orders and bringing you tea and cake and toast and pikelets and all the other things that we offered. But being able to serve you, being able to look after you, to give space where you could come together and build friendship. Doing that with Fiona and Barbara and Dave was such a joy. This is a special place, and my deep prayer is that this soon will reopen as that kind of space again, that Cake and Company and Weber Wednesdays will be able to gather, that Honeycomb will reopen in whatever form the new team want it to be, so that it can have a new life with their vision and their leadership. But this is a special place because it's so important for us to have a place where we can gather, where we can encourage one another, where we can listen to one another, and most importantly, where we can laugh together. And then here, standing behind the communion table, looking out to where you should be. Our slightly empty church at the moment, with that beautiful, beautiful wall hanging behind me. Sorry if that made you feel a little bit seasick. This is a special place. Standing on this platform doesn't make me elevated. Physically, physically I'm a little bit higher. But standing here is a privilege. It's not a right. It's a responsibility. It's a joy. But it's just one role among many, being able to preach and teach the word of God. What an awesome privilege that is. And it's not one that I have ever taken lightly. And it's not one that would be possible unless there were other people willing to serve and put words on the screens, to do the sound, to provide the music, to do all the other things, to clean the church, to do all the other things. That means that it's possible for me to stand here and teach the word. And so those of us who have the incredible privilege of standing on this platform, the lay readers, just other people we get to involve to come and do it, it's a privilege. It's not a superior role, it's not a more important job than any of the others, but this has been a privilege to stand here, to share the vision with you, to share communion with you, to lead in that most holy of moments where we share communion. The joy of baptizing your children, of standing here and leading a service where I then had the awesome job of baptizing your children, of performing your marriages, of seeing a couple full of love, full of joy, standing before me, making these most immense promises to one another, to love and to cherish. And then the privilege, I feel like I've used that word too many times today, of standing here and leading funerals. So many funerals of so many loved people, never the easiest of days, but something I always hold seriously and would never take lightly. Thank you for the times you trusted me in standing here and leading the services for those you love and you miss. This has been a special place. Standing here, looking out, I can imagine seeing who would be where and where you'd be sitting, and just the times I've looked out and seen that sea of faces, and some of those big special services as well. You know, one of my absolute favourites has to be that service we had with Bishop Joe when we saw so many members of our church family confirmed, and then that service just a few weeks later has to be the highlight when this church was filled with the people I love and who are so precious, and we celebrated the history of this church with Bishop Andrew. What an amazing day that was. Aren't we thankful it was last year and not this year? I'm so sad that I don't get to do one final service with you all in here. I'm actually going to record this week's sermon from the church building for posterity's sake. I don't know why, but this is going to be a place full of life again. This church is a wonderful, glorious place, and this is a special place, and I will always treasure the time I spent here teaching and learning and worshipping with you all. And so here is, making it a bit wobbly, my final kind of special important place. This is where I've worked on a lot of mornings. I'm at my desk. Karen is at her desk. She's actually on the other side of the wall right now. We've got the doors open in our new COVID working space, but this is the place where we've worked hard, where so much of my job's been made easier by all that happens in the office next door with Karen, but the space where just the day-to-day running of this church happens from. And so I guess my final message for you is to keep going, to pursue God in this vacancy, to see what he is calling you to do, to see who he is calling you to be, to continue to dare to reach out, to dream those dreams and to take risks, because what we've seen time and time again is that when we take the risk, when we dare to do something for God, then he is so faithful and he has blessed us so much. And so with my love and best wishes to you all, I am preaching again on Sunday, and I will give my final messages and my real farewells and thank yous in our Zoom gathering on Sunday at 3:00. If you don't have the link for that and you'd like to join, please do let us know. But my real encouragement for you is to keep trusting God, keep reaching out, inviting in and journeying with Jesus. Take care, everyone. God bless.